I just want to be yawning. Wish I could stay in bed. I'm a big fan of the daydream. Take my hand, so we can do it again. Do it again. Take my hand, 'cause I don't wanna be friends. Wanna be friends. In my dreams, in my dreams, in my dreams, you are.
Hello there, divine loving greetings. It's me, Alura. Welcome back to Spiritually Awkward. Hello and divine loving greetings, everybody. It's me, Alura. So today we'll be going into the subject of soulmates because I really feel that there's like this big misconception about the different soulmates that are out there. And it's really important to understand them so that you can understand how they're applied in your life. So I think the greatest areas of confusion when it comes to the soulmates is that many people don't know which soulmates you can have more of one of. And that's what I want to explain here today, and to talk about the fated lover a little bit more with you too. So we have the twin flame soulmate. You know, it doesn't really matter how your soul was created. In the end of everything, there's always that one soul that you're meant to reflect off of, that you're meant to be with. Okay, the twin flame, they say, is the twin, but that is not the case. Okay, there will be a lot of things that are twin-like, such as the fact that both of you will have had very similar life experiences. You will have gone through almost nearly the same exact things in your life because you're being built into the same person, you know? So that, as well as, you know, you're experiencing your lessons in logic and your feelings, and they're going through the same thing too. By the time the two of you do come together, and you will meet up a little bit along the way in the journey, but when the two of you finally do come together, you know, it should be to where both of you are at the same vibration and frequency, to where now you reflect off of each other the right way. And that means you share the same intellect, you have the same hobbies and interests, the same way of expressing your love, understanding, listening, and communicating with one another. However, you are the reflection of that person. So you're not going to be exactly alike. This person may like other things that you don't, and you may like things that they don't. They may have a certain perspective that's opposite to how you're looking at things, and together you're meant to learn through those things that are different, the things that are opposite, so that they can at one day be balanced or the same. And that's what a twin flame is, and that's why a lot of people are so bent out of shape over wanting to find a twin flame when they don't even really understand that it's one of the most complex, most difficult relationships that you can come to find. It's the truth. There's a lot of work that goes into that. Then you have your own separate karma, okay? You're working out your karmic issues over here, they're working on theirs, and who's to say that their path hasn't led them into another direction to work on things you already have? And that's why a lot of twin flame couples, there's always going to be that know-it-all aspect to one of the partners. They're going to try to guide their twin flame through, no, don't do this, don't do that, I don't like this, I don't like that, because they've already accomplished those lessons either in this life or the previous one. And that person may not be ready to accept that yet. So a lot of arguments come into the picture. They're working on communication, you know, trying to find that median in the center. And that's going to cause a lot of arguments too, especially if they're closed-minded and they're not spiritually awake, because then you're trying to tell them, well, you're my twin flame, this is how it's supposed to be. And they don't want to hear none of that. They're already out there doing other very worldly, earthly-based things that could be very hurtful to, you know, their partner that is awake, such as someone that's working out karma, let's say, for infidelity purposes. You know, they may be out there sleeping around, even though their love is profound for their partner, and their partner's thinking, well, if they were my twin flame, they would know not to do that to me. Well, that's not true. Karmically, they may still be working on those particular lessons, you know, of faithfulness. And you may have already worked on yours, but you may have just learned them differently. You may not have had to go through being a cheater yourself. Maybe you were just cheated on a lot in your past lifetimes to learn what it feels like, so that you're the type of person that doesn't want to cheat. Loyalty and faithfulness are learned. So the twin flame is such a complex situation, and I think a lot of people feel that when they get into a relationship such as a twin flame, they have the wrong idea that this is going to be the most perfect relationship in the world. Well, it very well could be if your twin flame has learned the things that they're meant to learn, cleared out their karma, and you have as well, where you're both willing to give yourselves the time and the attention and the consideration to always meet somewhere in the middle or try to see from one another's perspective. Then indeed it will be a perfect relationship. However, if that's not the case, it's going to be arguing and chaos all over the place. I think what people are looking for more so of is something called the fated lover. The fated lover is the person that reflects everything that you've been looking for all your life, okay? They will have already had their own separate individual lessons. They would have already learned things, that they're learning, but their lessons aren't really going to conflict with yours too much, okay? This is going to be the person that you settle down with. They're your very best friend. You get along well. The two of you have common interests, mutual ideas, and ways of looking at things. And they're willing to really try to put all in to make you happy. And that's what the fated lover is. This is the person that you are destined or fated to be with that's going to fill those shoes of the twin flame until your twin flame and you finally do match and come to that middle ground, in between the duality to say, okay, we are reunified, we match, we understand in certain aspects, and whereas where we don't, we can at least work together to get along. With the fated lover, you don't have to go through all of that. This is the type of person, if you have ever seen a relationship where you have the one partner and the one partner is always doing everything else that the other person wants them to do. They're there for them. It's like, this is the person that was made just to please. So now you have this person that's, oh, I want to go here and travel. And they're like, oh, okay, let's make that happen. Or, I don't like when you talk to me like that. Don't talk to me like that. And the person's like, okay, she doesn't like that, or he doesn't like that. Let me stop that. And they're always trying to kind of mold and shift themselves into what you want them to be. This is that soul playing the part of the fated lover. And it's for the reason so that you can figure out what you really want out of your twin flame. But at the same time, to be able to really get the experience of feeling loved and to be happy. And most people are really happy because, how could you not be when you have that one person that's always trying to be everything that you want them to be and more? So that's the soul agreement that the person enters into with you, because at some point they're going to want somebody to step into their journey to do the same. Hey, can you come into my journey and be everything that I want and more, just so that I can see what it's like to have one good relationship without all these flaws. And that way I can really get a chance to see, what I really like or what I don't. How does that teach you that? Well, if you have somebody that's always kind of bending to your will, you may get bored. Then you may start to discover other things that you crave. And you may not always want somebody that's so totally perfect. You may crave a little excitement. So some of those lessons are going to come in there into play too. But overall, you are going to be happy with your fated lover. It's a balanced relationship. It's a content, comfortable zone. And yes, you may have other realizations of, more fantastical, exciting, erotic things even that you want, later on, but you may just be perfectly happy and content with the person that you're with for the time being. And they will go out of their way to please you. And that's what a fated lover is. And I think that, a lot of people don't realize that you don't just get one fated lover. You can have multiple. It really depends on your specific journey. Are you the type of soul that needed to have somebody come into your life to please you and to make you happy so that you can have that healing? Then you very well may have more than just one. If you are the type of person that's going through their journey to learn through the hard knocks, you may have just one fated lover in your life that pop in there just at the right time to give you enough love, enough healing, and enough ease, and give you a little bit of a break through all the relationship trauma that you're going to go through your learning experiences. So some people have more than one fated lover, others just have one. Nevertheless, it really is just all a part of your journey specifically and uniquely, and every soul is unique. Now the star-crossed lover, this is somebody that you're going to fall in love with. This is a person that's going to love you back, and the passion is just going to be explosive. There's going to be jealousy, a need to have and own and possess this person because you are so passionately connected to them. But yet everything in the world keeps the both of you apart. So there was a good question from one of our viewers that had wrote in, and they had said, Alura, is there ever a chance for the star-crossed to ever be together? Not usually, okay? I guess there are, a lot of things that defy the odds, but what I would say in my experience is that I've never really seen it happen. Like, for an example, they could end up together very last minute, is what I've seen, but if you're talking in terms of actually being together for a long term, committed relationship and making things work out, no. So in my experience with the star-crossed, I have seen somebody, they were in love and something happened to where they could not be together, and the girl got married, and then later on he ended up passing away. The other guy got sick, called her, and they reconnected, but right before they got to be together, he died. So there were so many things just to keep them away from one another, such as, I think he went to war is what took him out of her life, and she didn't wait around. She got remarried. So war kept them apart. Her getting married kept them apart. And then his illness. Finally, when she really realized that she was really in love with him, she couldn't be with him because the illness then kept them apart. So, yeah, usually a lot of tragic circumstances surrounding these star-crossed. And a lot of people don't realize they're star-crossed in their lives either. They're expecting like this Romeo and Juliet tragedy. Well, tragedy is defined in so many different ways. Your star-crossed could be kept away from you because maybe your parents don't approve of the person, maybe they've moved away long distance somehow, some way, maybe they're ill, or maybe the person died young, or maybe, there's the whole world of different things that could just push the two of you apart. Even your own actions, really. If you have a star-crossed lover, it could be that the two of you never end up together because of you. Maybe there are things that you're still going out there in life to explore and to learn from. Maybe you don't know yourself. Maybe you're the type of person that's been through a lot of trauma. So you go out there and you're just living your life and you keep hurting this person over and over again while you're doing that. And then you come to realize, oh my God, I love that person at the last minute, and it's too late. Maybe they can't take that hurt anymore and they're traumatized. Even though they love you passionately back and they've been hanging on all that time, something inside of them's like, I can't do it. So, usually that's how it works in terms of the star-crossed lover. There are so many things, not just death, that could keep the two of you from being together, even you yourself. And again, that's really specifically, in terms of the person's unique journey. Now, we've covered fated lover, twin flame, and star-crossed. There's one other soulmate. It's called the Karmic soulmate, and you could have more than these as well. So for an example, with the star-crossed lover, usually that's only just one, and they will be in your astrological chart for sure, hands down. Twin flame don't really pop up in there because this is something that's beyond your earthly journey. It really is true because, there's a lot of different secret societies and spiritual, communities that teach everything is aligned with astrology. Now, a majority here on Earth is aligned with astrology and social conditioning, but there are things beyond all of that. And when that's beyond Earth, that really can't fit into just something as small in a definition such as somebody's one and only birth date for that one and only life. You have many different lives, many different birth dates, and therefore twin flame being created with you at the time of your creation or just after, that's definitely going to be something that's beyond Earth time. They're not going to pop up in your chart. They could maybe slide on in there if it's really, really destiny for the two of you to really connect in that life, but a majority of the time, you're not going to see them too much in the chart. You will see star-crossed though, and that is for certain. But when you are looking at astrology, if you are with your twin flame or it's destined for the two of you to meet, we can look at both of your astrological energies. We can align the chart. And what happens is that you will have opposite energies to one another in the chart. It's true. But that's just when they do show up. If you have found them and it is confirmed and it is verified, they will be the total opposite of what you have astrologically in your chart, your elements, that is. For the star-crossed, they are always on your chart. If you're getting a star-crossed in your life, they are going to be on that chart. And usually you will have a star-crossed in every lifetime for the most part. Twin flames, they pop up here and there throughout the journey, so you may not meet with them in every life. But your star-crossed is a huge part of your learning and your relationship journey as a soul going through the evolutionary process. the star-crossed is teaching you everything in the world about relationships. If you think about it, you never get to really be with this person, but yet maybe your own choices, you keep screwing things up and leaving this person back here. That's teaching you how to learn from those mistakes and to see how your choices reflect on somebody else. That will help you not to do the same when you meet your twin flame. Star-crossed also teaches you to appreciate the people in your life when you lose them, especially when you realize how much you love them. They always say you never realize what you have until it's gone. The star-crossed is the epitome of that lesson. So they will be there in the astrological chart. Fated lover will be too. And I think that's why a lot of people get confused, because they're looking for that one soul that really fits them, that makes them happy, that has a lot in common with them, is willing to please them and give them the happiness and contentment in their journey. And a lot of people are reading in the charts and they're finding the fated lover there and they're saying it's the twin flame, when the twin flame can't be defined just by astrology alone. There are so many things that you have to go into to define the twin flame soul connection. But yes, the fated lover gets confused as the twin flame a lot in the charts because they're looking at the comparison and the compatibility, and it really is just the fated lover. The fated lover is everything you're looking for and more to get that perfect experience, whereas you will have had the star-cross that teaches you the other lessons too. And then at the end, you're looking and you're saying, I've learned a lot from these two experiences. When I do meet my twin flame, it's not going to be so much of a battle of the elements anymore, because now, instead of being two sides of duality, those two very different sides of duality can meet in the middle and work as a balanced pair in harmony with one another. And that is the master of the tree of life, at least when it comes in love, but also in life too, because if you can see from a whole other perspective and go outside of your own, in another area of duality, logic and masculine, then you are now able to see the world in those two different perspectives in order to grow and make better choices from. So it's a very epic relationship, but yes, fated lover, will always be there. You can have more than one for some, and fated lovers in the astrological report sometimes getting confused, with the twin flame, and then the star-crossed lover, of course. Karmic soulmates, before we go. Karmic soulmates, you could have a dozen of those, okay? It's never limited. A soulmate is anybody that you're meant to learn from, okay? However, a karmic soulmate is somebody that keeps following you around because you have unfinished business, okay? You have a little lesson to learn that you haven't yet, or maybe something happened with you and that individual that wasn't settled yet. So they'll pop up in your life as well, and there will be a lot of situations that are going on around you that will reflect the same situation that you had experienced with them before in your past lifetime. And it's going to keep happening until you can finally come to that place to resolve the issue and to get the healing and the closure with that particular soul. Even your parents can be a karmic soulmate. It all really depends on the dynamics of your spiritual journey with the souls that you've made the agreement to come into this journey with. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you all. It's been another episode of Spiritually Awkward.
I'm at a payphone trying to call home. All of my change I spent on you. Where have the times gone, baby? It's all wrong. Where are the plans we made for two? Yeah, I know it's hard to remember the people we used to be. It's even harder to picture that you're not here next to me. You say it's too late to make it, but is it